Hello class, welcome to week report number 3. These are the list of tasks that you will be required to complete for week report number 3. Task number 1, study and review. These are the two presentations you will review. Task number 2, you will download the cheat sheet for managing software and you're going to place it in your cheat sheets folder. Task number 3, you're going to do the practice of each and every one of the presentation. However, for the second presentation, you will only do practice 1 and practice 3. Please ignore the rest of them. Of course, you're welcome to complete them, but they are not necessary. Then you're going to complete your class notes, and then finally you will do your week report. The last thing that you will complete this week will be the lab. Why? Because in the lab you have a challenge question that requires you to write a little script. And because of that, I need you to study and understand the commands and everything that we covered during that particular week before you attempt the lab. So with that said, let me give you some pointers here and there. If you already have a good handle on Markdown and how we're supposed to work in the class, you're welcome to just start your tasks and then call it a night. Otherwise, if you need a little bit of hand holding, I'm going to show you most of the stuff here in the video so that you can get a good grade. So again, study and review, we don't need to talk about that. You know how to read. So for the cheat sheet, okay, I'm going to go to my virtual machine right over here, and I'm going to the managing software presentation. And using the handle here for the menu, I will go all the way to the end and click on cheat sheet 1. There are two versions of this cheat sheet, version 1 and version 2. You can download one or download both. It doesn't really matter. Once you download the file, you can open the downloads folder from here, and you're going to find the file right there. Cut the file from there, go to your repository, home, CIS 106, cheat sheets, and then place your file over here, right? So I'm gonna just delete this and then paste. And that's it. You finish with that task. So let's go back to the instructions for your lab. Now you're gonna do every practice and then you're gonna take a screenshot at the end of every practice. I'm gonna do a couple of them and then you're gonna do the rest on your own. So let's minimize this, and let's go to what is a shell. This is the first presentation. Okay, good, 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 good. Practice number 1, looking at two different terminals. Now, the goal of this practice is that you compare two terminal applications. So we have Tilix here on one side. Just gonna move it to the right. And then we're gonna open GNOME terminal. And there we go. We have GNOME terminal right over here. The two applications are side by side. Please explore the options of these applications. And then after you finish doing that, take a screenshot of your screen showing the two applications open and call it a day. So let's do exactly that. I'm gonna take a screenshot here, selection, take a screenshot, and I want just a screenshot that shows that I have two applications open. Done. I'm gonna save this as uh, practice one.png. And I'm going to save this in, let me click on other, because we need to put this in our CIS 106 folder right here. And you know what? I'm going to drag the folder here as a new bookmark so that I can access it quickly whenever I need it. So I'm going to go to week reports. Notice that I do not have a folder here for week report 3, which means I must create it. WR3, short for week report. And now let's click on open. Now we can click on save here, and that's it. I'm just gonna close this guy up because I don't need both of them open. Again, moving on, practice number 2. Here we're gonna type the bash version command, bash version, take a screenshot because that's the last instruction over here. And I'm only gonna select the area of the screen that I care about, which is this over here. No, cancel, new screenshot. I move my mouse too quickly there. There you go, done. And we're gonna call this screenshot practice 2.png. Click on save. Okay, moving on. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. practice number 3, right? Okay, so let's do practice number 3 real quick. I'm gonna clear my screen, right, using the history. So I'm gonna type date. Now we're gonna do an echo command, echo hello world. And now they say type the uname command, so that would be uname -a, and now we're gonna do history, and this is my history. Good. Now we are gonna do, using the shortcut for repeating a command, we're gonna repeat the command, the echo command that we just did on step number 2. So that would be this one over here. So we're gonna do exclamation mark and then 59, press enter, and yeah, it repeated the echo command. Now we're gonna do an echo hello, hello, and now we're gonna practice the repeat the previous command instructions. So that would be 2 exclamation mark. I'm gonna marks. I'm gonna put in space, and I'm gonna put world. There you go. It repeated the previous command and it appended the word world at the end. Okay, now let's take a screenshot here. And this is all I need here. So there we go. We're gonna call this practice number 3. .png. Okay, now let's move along to practice number 4. And this is the last one that I'm going to do as an example. The rest, please do them on your own. Here, we're going to create our first shell script. So I'm going to do clear here. By the way, the solution to the practice are always in the next slide, right? So you don't need to listen to me. You can just go and do it yourself there. So let's open a text editor. I'm just going to close the terminal for now because I don't need it. And I'm going to move my terminal to the right. So open the menu, type text, and open the text editor. Okay, so let me start all over again because this saved the previous attempt, and that's what we don't want that. Now let's type the shebang or the interpreter, pound exclamation mark bin bash. Now let's do 3 echo commands to display 3 lines of text. Now we have echo, and then hello world, and now echo I am learning Linux, and then echo this is my first script. Okay, after this, open a file manager, create a folder in your home directory called scripts. Okay, good. So file manager, I need a home directory here, so let's go new. I'm gonna call it scripts, and I'm gonna start it with uppercase S just to keep the same formatting that we had before. Good. And now we're gonna save this as hello.sh in the scripts directory. So click on the hamburger menu, click on save, and then go home, and then scripts. Right, and we're gonna call this hello.sh. Click on save. Now run the following command, bash. Okay, good. So this is gonna be to execute the script. So open your terminal and type bash tilde scripts and then hello.sh. This command will fail, right? This is on purpose. This will fail, and it will fail because the shell is case sensitive. So when I try to run this, it tells me that the file does not exist, and it's true. It doesn't exist because I'm trying to run a file called hello.sh in a folder called scripts with lowercase s. And that's not what we have. We have uppercase S. So here we're going to do the same thing again, bash, uppercase S, and then I'm going to use the tab key to autocomplete the path. Right? It's one of the beautiful things of the shell that it can autocomplete. Press enter here, the script ran, and now I can take my screenshot. This is practice number 4, I believe. So practice 4.png. Click on save, and we're almost done here. I can close this terminal, I don't need it, and I'm gonna close this because I don't need it. Again, you have then another practice, which is, I believe, practice 5 using the man command. And you have practice 6 using the help option, and you have practice 7 using the cheat command. Now, once you finish these practices over here, remember to take your screenshots and naming them appropriately. Move to the managing software presentation. And here, you're going to do practice 1, which should be labeled correctly from the menu. Practice 1, right? Open Tilix, split it in two. Use one window to search for, and use one window to search, one another for running commands. Use APT to find the Tetris clone. By the way, the answer is right here. So if you can't figure out the instructions, you can go ahead and take a look at the answers right over there. Once you complete the practice, make sure you take a screenshot of the last screen that you have in your terminal. The screenshot should show both the first side that has the man page open, and then the other side that has the commands that you ran. Okay, so sorry, the side that you use for searching and the side that you use for running the commands that you found. Okay, so once you finish that, move along to practice number 3 here. So that would be practice 2. No, practice number 3, installing and removing snaps. Let me see if that's correct. Do practice 1 and 3. Yes, so practice 1 and 3. Again, we're going to follow the same thing, but in this case, we're going to be using a snap. So again, the solutions are right there as well. Once you finish, do the same thing, take a screenshot, place them in the proper directory. So make sure you name them appropriately. So once you finish that, right, you're going to do your class notes. So the class notes are going to be definitions, usage, and example of the following commands here. So let me show you how you can do this easily. And I open VS Code, Notes, and here you have a folder called Notes 3, and then in here we're gonna create a file called notes3.md. Okay, so notes3.md, and here we simply add a title, Notes 3, and then we're gonna put here the commands. I'm just gonna copy from here and then paste right over here. Okay, and I'm going to use heading 2 for the commands. And then here we're gonna create section for definition, usage, and then example. I'm gonna do one command, please do the rest on your own. Use the presentation, the internet, or the man page to find out exactly the definitions, usage, and examples of each and every one of the commands you see over there. So again, definition of the echo command, use for displaying text on the screen. Usage, echo plus option plus a string to print. Right, and I'm gonna use code formatting for this. So again, code formatting for this. Good. And now let's do one example. Example number 1, display / print a line of text. Code formatting for the example, echo hello world. Now let's do another example here. Display a line of text with a horizontal tab. echo hello world again, but this time we're gonna add the E option and the \T for the horizontal tab. Save over here. And one last command that we're gonna do here, display 2 lines of text with a single echo command. So again, echo, we're gonna enable the E option for \interpretation, and we're gonna do this is line 1, \n for starting a new line. This is line 2, end of the quote, and now end of the code formatting. Now I'm gonna bold this, bold this part here as well, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna go full screen on this for a moment, and now let's preview our markdown file. So see how neatly formatted this is. Again, you don't have to use the same formatting options that I did, but if your document doesn't look organized and properly formatted, I will start taking points off. You should know all the markdown syntax necessary to making your document look decent, right? I'm not expecting perfection, but I'm looking for proper organization. This is just an example of what you can do. Once you complete your notes, once you complete this document, right click, and then we're going to export to PDF. Okay, now that I have my PDF file, I can close this, terminal, new terminal, and now let's do git pull, git add period, git commit -m notes 3 done, and now git push. And you can go and submit your notes because you already finished them, right? You can just go submit your URL for your notes file and your notes3.pdf file. That's done. Let's minimize this and continue with instructions. All right, once you finish this, by the way, there is a video of this as well, of this alone. The video is from last semester, but you can use it as an example for this one as well. You're gonna complete with report number 3 once you complete your notes, and this is what with report 3 has to include, right? So first of all, let's create our markdown file. So let's go back to my virtual machine, VS Code, and here in my, let me minimize this, there you go. Here with report number 3, let's create a markdown file called wr3.md, and then here let's put a title, week report 3. Okay, and here is the formatting that you're gonna do. We're gonna use heading 1 for week report 3, heading 2 for completed work week 3. So again, completed work week 3. We don't need that open for now. A bulleted list of these URLs, lab 3 and notes 3. Okay, so let's create that bulleted list. Lab 3 and then notes 3, right? And this is going to be like this. So since this is gonna be a link, this is gonna be the link description, and the URL is the file, the path to lab 3, right? Right now we don't have a lab 3 folder, so we need to make a folder, lab 3, and then we, oops, let me rename this, that's incorrect. Perfect. And then inside lab number 3, let me create a file called lab3.md. And then here I'm just gonna put placeholder text. I'll just do lab 3 submission. Right, just gonna do that to have it as placeholder text for the time being. I'm gonna close that. And then this is the path for lab number 3, right? So we know that it's inside the labs folder. So we need to go back one folder, right? So here we start with 2 periods and a backslash. So notice that it's giving us options already. So WR1, this is here. No, we want to go back another folder. Now we have cheat sheets, labs, good, labs, lab 3, good, and then lab3.md, perfect. Let's repeat the process for nodes. Again, we're gonna go back once, back again, and now let's click on nodes, nodes 3, nodes 3.md. Okay, that's it. These are the links to our lab 3 and nodes number 3. And from this point on, every week report is going to have that at the beginning, a bulleted list of the work that you completed this week. Now, you can also put another bulleted list for managing software cheat sheet, right? And again, two periods, cheat sheets, managing software.png, good, and that's gonna give you the cheat sheet. It's gonna put it right over here in the completed work. Again, that is optional. That over there is completely optional. If you want to add a link to the presentations then that were covered there for you to have them as a quick access, again, of course you can do it. Right here, for example, what is a shell? And then we can simply put the link here. And you're done. Next, heading 2, practice. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do next. So let's go back here and let's do a heading 2 and call this practice, right? And then here we're gonna create our images. So we're gonna do practice 1, and then we're gonna put here the practice 1 file name. So that would be practice 1. By the way, if you want to pop up this menu like this, all I did was start typing PR and then control space bar, and it's just gonna open the menu of the files that are inside the folder. Practice1.png, good. And then again, next one, practice2. Then here we go, practice2.png. But notice that if you preview this, there is no clear way of telling what practice this screenshot belong to. So we're gonna fix that. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna put, I believe it's heading 3, yeah, heading 3, and we're gonna label each and every one of the practices. So practice 1 is this one over here. Then we're gonna do the same thing for practice number 2. Practice 2. And you're gonna repeat the process for all the practice that you created, right? And this is where having a consistent naming schema for your files comes in handy, because you can simply copy, paste, and then just change the number. 3, 3, 3, 3, and so on. And the same thing for practice number 4. And that's about it. So how many did I complete? Yeah, we complete 4 practice here. Remember, you have 7 practice in this presentation and 2 more in the managing software presentation. Once you complete this, all you have to do is come here, right click, and export to PDF. Now we're gonna do our git commands. Finished week report 3, and then push it. And you can go and submit your week report number 3 because you finished week report number 3 already. Now, once you finish this, you're gonna have to go and complete lab number 3. Remember, lab number 3 is the last thing that you're gonna do for this week because it's gonna use all the knowledge that you acquire during your study of the material for this in this week report. So you study and then you execute. If you have any questions, you know exactly what to do. Slack me, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Before I leave you, I want to show you in GitHub what is it that you're going to give me so that nobody says that they didn't tell me. So go to week reports, week report 3, and I want the URL to this file. Week report number 3, this URL is that you're going to give me right over here. See the URL to this markdown file. Look how nice this looks, right? Yours is going to look nice, even nicer than mine because you guys are amazing. Now let's click on Notes 3 and notice that it takes you to the Notes 3 file right away. For Notes 3 again, you're going to give me the URL to this file and the PDF file in Blackboard. Again, if you have any questions, I'm available in Slack. Take care.